And away they go to a nice even start. Connemara Black, one of the first to go. She goes off to the early lead. Rhythmic Roxy racing away in second. Cyclone Michelle's at the rail. Salutation alongside. Sacred Temple 3 wide. And Mark of Distinction widest of all racing in 6th position. Now let some of them go past and she's about a slot a little bit closer to the rail. Turkish Delight in between runners. Then comes Atlantic Oak. Mystic Tigress racing towards the rear. Then we go back to Hey You Never Know. And last is Sunningdale racing about 15 lengths off this leader as Connemara Black takes them past the 2,200 metre mark in front by 7 or 8 lengths. Connemara Black is on her bicycle as they swing onto the back straight. She's in front of Rhythmic Roxy racing a clear second. 3 lengths away to Salutation, who has 3rd position, about 10, 11 lengths off the leader. Mark of Distinction now a clear 4th and racing about 10 off the leader. Then we go back to Cyclone Michelle. Sacred Temple a little bit closer than usual. She's about a dozen lengths off the leader as Connemara Black now comes back to her field already. Turkish Delight, Mystic Tigress team up to race about 10 off the leader. Hey You Never Know. Atlantic Oak is 1 from last and that leaves Sunningdale in the back seat. They race over towards that 14-15 metres mark and Rhythmic Roxy now allowed to go on past Connemara Black, who's been relegated into second very quickly halfway through the race now. Back in that 3rd position comes Salutation. Sacred Temple races outside of that in the blue sleeves and Mystic Tigress goes and improves position and Mystic Tigress widest of all now racing just a length behind the leader. Mark of Distinction is back at the rail racing about a couple of lengths off the leader. Cyclone Michelle is next best. Atlantic Oak and Sunningdale are on the outside of runners. Turkish Delight and then comes Hey You Never Know. Through the side of the course past the 1,000 metres board and only about 5 lengths cover them first to last in the Spook Express handicap. The leader is Rhythmic Roxy. Salutation 1 off the rail in second. Then comes Mystic Tigress going the long way around but racing in 3rd. Connemara Black is now in 4th, racing just ahead of Mark of Distinction, who can't be more than 2 off the leader. There we go, a length back to Cyclone Michelle. Sunningdale is next. Sacred Temple comes under a ride but that's normal for her. She takes a long time to get going. She's about 6 from the leader. Atlantic Oak is next. Turkish Delight is in beyond that and then comes Hey You Never Know, who's last as they come off the false rail now 500 metres from home. Rhythmic Roxy the leader. Second place is Salutation. Then comes Atlantic Oak to the grandstand side. She's made up tons of ground as Atlantic Oak. She's got a length to make up. Then comes Mark of Distinction and Sunningdale. Salutation is the leader. Rhythmic Roxy sticks around. Then comes Atlantic Oak to the outside. She's still got 2 to get past. She's racing in 3rd. Then comes Mark of Distinction and Cyclone Michelle. Salutation though finds another gear with 150 metres left to go. Second place is Rhythmic Roxy. Then comes Atlantic Oak, who's switched in. She's running on strongly. Salutation, Atlantic Oak. Here it comes. Salutation won it. Atlantic Oak ran 2nd. Then 3rd position goes to Rhythmic Roxy and Mark of Distinction ran 4th.
Salutation wins his 7th race, her 7th race, and takes her earnings up to 900,000 rand. And her regular rider, Markov and Rensburg, all guts there. Really, you had her nicely placed from the start. She just answered your every call.
Yeah, Mr. Murray, first I want to say thank you to Mr. Diedericks. You know, he's had the patience to keep me on this filly, and you know, it's finally paying off for me. Going back to the race, the instructions were pretty simple. Francine was always going to go to the front, we knew that. The plan was to sit up 2nd, 3rd, and just try and dictate from there. And you know, it worked into our hands.
Yeah, well, you'd be delighted with this because really she's finished 3rd 5 times in the last 7 outings. So she was overdue a visit to the #1 box.
Yeah, Mr. Molly, you know, like I say, she's honest. She tries her heart out. She's forever in her money. You know, sometimes it feels a bit strong, but then she only gets beat like 3 lengths or 4 lengths. So she's an honest filly and she deserves this win.
Lovely, well ridden. Here's Larry with your prize. Markov and Rensburg, the winning jockey for the Spook Express.
I just want to say thanks to Mr. Pettigrew and to my sponsors, to Questic Insurance. They're there for me, they help me, they support me, and just thank all of them.
Okay, well done. Stewie, what a revelation she's been, this man. 900,000 now in stake earnings.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thanks to Peet Diedericks. You know, without him in my yard, I wouldn't be where I am. And this filly was not sold for 40, and I went and offered Mickey 50. He said, okay, you're stealing her from me, but take her. And she's just been a pleasure to train. She's just got so much guts, comes to the races, puts her best foot forward every time, and it's a pleasure to train her.
You're going to have to go and see Mickey again, because Mickey's got the half-brother by Admire Main, the Japanese horse, on the national sales.
No, the breeders don't like me because I steal from them. They say I steal their horses. But that's what I do. That's all the money I've got, so that's what I have to do at the sales. But we'll go and see Mickey's horses. He always brings some very nice horses to the sale. He's a good breeder. He's a top breeder, not for nothing. So we'll go and have a look at a few of these horses.
Well, we've talked to you many times about some of these 20 grand, 30 grand buys. You're certainly a wonderful judge of horseflesh there, and I'm sure you'll be having a good look round in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, the big buyers don't interfere with my looking or buying because they don't even look at the horses I buy. So it's easy for me at the sales. I've got a budget. That's what I go and I spend it.
Lovely. Well played, Stewie. Here's Larry with your prize there. And there you have the trainers and the owner's prize, I believe. Floating trophy. Thanks, Larry. Lovely. Well played. Right. Next, we're going to call on Clyde Basil to come and see us here. Clydie, of course, well, a sad day, but a day of remembrance, and really just to talk about your father. I want to talk about your father, Jeff Basil. The commitment he's shown towards this tragedy is second to none.
Oh yeah, he was from the very beginning, Molly. He was very committed to find out what happened that terrible day. Elected, of course, by the family members who are all here. Maybe Nicholas wants to, if he can, show some of the family members.
Nicholas, you just pan round there for us, please.
If he can. So they're all here today, and I've asked Benny de Wet. You remember Benny?
Yes.
Benny's father's here, Benny de Wet.
Yes.
And Benny's son, Gareth, is here as well. And to come and present the trophy to Pierre, who of course won the Henneman Memorial in the second. But yeah, he was very committed, and for many years, was working on this project for the families, and he made sure through the commitment from the industry or the sport that this day is remembered, and always remembered in honour of those who unfortunately lost their lives when they did.
Thank goodness he's been behind it, because, I mean, other tragedies around the world, they happen without the same sort of remembrance. I believe that, there have been air crashes all over the world and train crashes. But we, as a racing industry, we've got to be proud the way we remember these guys.
Absolutely right. I think that what the industry is doing is correct. We're very grateful, of course, to Pumalela and Rion Duplessis, to the Racing Association and Larry Weinstein for their commitment to this. And my dad's passing words were, keep it going, there's no point letting it die out in terms of the families that are still here. I mean, all of those on the plane, moms and dads, brothers and sisters, and their children. 25 years later, all families have grown naturally. But they're all here, and it's most of them are here. Some couldn't make it. Some have perhaps, they've lost that connection. But those that are here are most grateful, I know that much. And it's a sad day. It is 25 years, I know, but they're never forgotten. And it's one of those tragedies that shouldn't have happened, but one doesn't have an explanation for why life deals these kind of blows. But it does.
How the cards fall. In fact, what you've said to the press this week, we've got more details of that crash, and which is scary, to be honest. And we don't want to go into that. But the point is, and we lost so many talented riders and lovely officials as well.
Absolutely correct. Royce Ferry was at the prime of his life at the time, but that's exactly what happened. But we remember it 25 years later. Pierre's won it before, and I know Pierre was close to a lot of the guys there as well. And Benny de Wet, if I can ask Benny and Benny's father and Benny's son Gareth to come up and join us for the
I think your father would like you to do the presentation.
Well, my father, I must tell you, you remember he honoured you as Sir Molly. Remember, it was a couple of years ago. Hey? So I know he was very close to you.
Okay, you take
okay, thank you. So, thanks, well done, Pierre. Congratulations, great win with Seal, and well done for winning the Henneman Memorial again. You've won it a number of times. I know that.
Yeah, it's been a lucky race for me. Obviously, you've got sad thoughts as well. I mean, your brother Keith, he was my senior. I was apprentice in the early days in Durban, and he was my senior. He was the guy that guided me along and took me along and showed me what to do and told me what to do. And obviously on weekends, I also learned quite a bit from him.
The flat in Durban.
Yeah, on the beachfront. Yeah, so we had some great times. As it's a sad race, but it was a lucky race for me in a way, because I only came to Joburg because of the accident, to be honest. There were so many guys that died, and there were not many jockeys left, and Brett Warren approached me to come up, and that's basically opened up. I mean, I did well in P then, but it basically got my career up and running because of the accident. So I know it's sad, but you know, it helped me along.
And the irony in all of that, of course, Benny de Wet, if you remember, used to ride for Brett Warren. He was his stable jockey, and you're going to receive your prize from Benny's father.
Thank you very much.
Benny de Wet Senior with us today, and Gareth next to him, Benny's son, which is great to have him, and of course Benny's daughter as well. Nice to have the de Wets here with us. Thanks, Benny. Thank you very much for being with us. Appreciate it. Thank you, Pierre. Thank you, Molly. Thank you very much, and all the best for today. Thanks for all your support. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Clyde. So we're just going to give you that Spook Express result again. And well done to Rod McCurdy. Rod McCurdy gave the quartet. He gave the exacta here, 4 from 3. First number 4, Salutation. Second number 3, Atlantic Oat. Third to 7, number 7, Rhythmic Roxy. Fourth on the 8, Mark of Distinction.